The sands of time keep flowing relentlessly, carrying with them the stories of our ancestors. What if one day this flow could be reversed? What if someday soon we could bring back an entire civilization, not just through museums or books, but in full color, right here, right now? Imagine recreating bustling marketplaces filled with merchants from all over the known world, or maybe taking a stroll through the Great Pyramid of Giza. Today, let's explore this extraordinary idea. Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Life Noggin. Before we get into the video, as many of you know, I love reading your comments. They always make me laugh. So while we were editing this episode, we came across this comment from someone named Drew B, who said, "I want to see an episode on ancient Rome, because I think that was the greatest civilization ever." Well, Drew, I actually did an episode on this very topic about 2 years ago, except it was called Ancient Rome. It was everything from gladiators to the Pantheon. Anyways, I thought it would be kind of funny if I put a picture of ancient Rome at the end of this video. So if you're watching this and you haven't seen that episode yet, then click the link provided. And if you do watch it, then leave us a comment saying, "I found the Easter egg," because I'm pretty sure I made everyone watching this video check the comments. I hope that's okay. Anyways, let's begin. In 2019, researchers at the University of Göttingen in Germany used sophisticated computer modeling techniques to reconstruct a three-dimensional model of the ancient Mesopotamian city of Lagash. Using clay tablets from the time period, the team was able to recreate the architecture of the city, the size of its buildings, and even the layout of its streets. The results were so precise that the team believes their method could be used to reconstruct other ancient cities, perhaps even bringing them back to life. But how exactly would this work? There are a few ways we can try to bring back an ancient civilization. The first is the brute force method. This involves excavating and preserving as much as possible from the original site. For example, archaeologists working at Pompeii have been painstakingly restoring frescoes, mosaics, and even entire buildings to their former glory. By using traditional techniques, they've been able to recreate the atmosphere of this ancient Roman city as it was during the 1st century AD. However, this method is slow and expensive, and it only works for small areas. The second method is the virtual reality approach. Using advanced imaging technologies such as laser scanning, archaeologists can create digital copies of ancient sites. These virtual reconstructions allow us to explore these places from the comfort of our own homes, and they can be updated as new discoveries are made. In recent years, several institutions have created VR tours of famous ancient sites such as Machu Picchu and Angkor Wat. The technology also makes it possible to experiment with different ways of presenting these sites to the public. For example, some museums are using VR to create interactive exhibits that allow visitors to walk through a digital recreation of an ancient city and learn about its history. And the third way we can bring back an ancient civilization is by building a replica. And there are some benefits to this method. For one thing, it allows us to study these civilizations in a more immersive way. We can learn what it was like to live in an ancient city by actually living there, even if only for a short time. We can experience the sights, sounds, and even smells of these cultures firsthand. A visit to a replica of an ancient city is more memorable than reading about it in a book or seeing it in a documentary. And finally, building a replica allows us to preserve these civilizations for future generations. By creating a physical object that embodies the culture of a particular time and place, we can ensure that these cultures are not forgotten. Of course, this method has its own set of challenges. We need to find a balance between authenticity and accessibility. We also need to be careful not to exploit these cultures for our own gain, but ultimately, the rewards of this process outweigh the challenges. So let's take a look at a couple of places that have already attempted to do this. Starting with Greece. The Greek Ministry of Culture and Sports announced plans to recreate 6 ancient Greek cities in 2023. These cities will be built to scale and will include replicas of iconic structures such as the Temple of Zeus and the Acropolis. The project is expected to cost around $70 million and will be completed over the course of several years. The Greek government hopes that the project will boost tourism to the country and raise awareness of Greece's rich history. Next up, we have Egypt. The Egyptian government has unveiled plans to build a replica of the ancient Egyptian city of Amarna. The city is expected to cost around $20 billion and will be completed over the course of 5 years.
The project is part of Egypt's efforts to revive its tourism industry following the Arab Spring uprising in 2011. Finally, we have Rome. Italy has unveiled plans to recreate the ancient Roman city of Ostia Antica. The city will be built to scale and will include replicas of iconic structures such as the Colosseum and the Pantheon. The project is expected to cost around $100 million and will be completed over the course of 10 years. The Italian government hopes that the project will boost tourism to the country and raise awareness of Italy's rich history.
But what about smaller civilizations? The answer might surprise you. You see, when most people think of ancient civilizations, they typically imagine large, well-known cultures like the Egyptians, Greeks, or Romans. However, there were thousands of different civilizations that existed throughout history, each with its own unique contributions to society. Many of these smaller civilizations were just as advanced and sophisticated as their larger counterparts, but they've been largely forgotten by history. There's evidence that suggests that some of these smaller civilizations were actually quite advanced for their time. For example, the Indus Valley civilization developed sophisticated systems of irrigation and urban planning centuries before the Egyptians or Greeks. Similarly, the Nubian civilization in what is today Sudan was able to produce incredibly detailed and realistic sculptures long before the rise of classical sculpture in Greece. Despite these accomplishments, however, most of these smaller civilizations have been lost to time. Their contributions to history have been either ignored or erased. This is largely because these civilizations didn't leave behind any written records that could be deciphered. As a result, most of what we know about them comes from archaeological evidence. But even that evidence is often incomplete or open to interpretation. However, thanks to new technologies, we may be able to bring some of these lost civilizations back to life. For example, archaeologists have recently uncovered a series of ancient tombs in the mountains of northern Thailand. These tombs date back to the kingdom of Haripunchai, which existed from the 6th to the 13th centuries. The kingdom was known for its elaborate funeral rituals, and the tombs are filled with treasures such as gold ornaments and bronze weapons. This discovery has given us a rare glimpse into the culture and customs of this ancient civilization. And it's just one example of the amazing things that we can learn if we take the time to uncover them. By exploring and learning about these lost civilizations, we can gain a deeper understanding of human history and culture. We can see how these cultures developed and adapted to their environments, as well as the challenges they faced and the achievements they accomplished. In doing so, we can also appreciate the richness and diversity of human history and the contributions of all cultures to our shared heritage. Ultimately, bringing these lost civilizations back to life can help us understand ourselves and our place in the world better. It can remind us of the importance of preserving cultural heritage and protecting endangered languages and traditions. It can also inspire us to learn from the mistakes of the past and work towards a better future for all.